I've talked about underrated sagas. I've talked about why the Saiyan saga is my personal favorite. But let's see what this guy thinks the best Dragon Ball arc is. Also, shout out to the creator, man. No cap. Shout out to Big Toon, bro. Commented on one of the videos. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to the anime community.
There are a series of videos on this channel where I go over each arc of Dragon Ball Z, but I've never actually ranked them. All right, so first up is the Emperor Pilaf arc, which is basically the first search for the Dragon Balls. I mean, this is the beginning. I think Toriyama did a great job introducing characters that would become mainstays in the franchise for decades to come. From chapter 1, the audience has a pretty good grasp on who Goku is as a character. To this day, he hasn't changed much, if at all. Some people view this as a problem, but I don't. The best part of Goku's character is that
some of you guys hate flat line characters and would argue that makes them, non-complex characters. I think that is one of the most irresponsible takes possible, especially if you know what a flat character is. Like, the idea that you know that terminology, but then would argue that it makes no flat character complex is ridiculous. It's arguably a show of true skill gap if you have a character that will be consistently him throughout this entirety, granted with learning some lessons in there as well, of course. But in terms of personality, if they're a flat character and they learn lessons, they have to go through complexities, change ideologies of others, all that stuff. It's actually harder to do that than a guy that you could just, okay, now he learns to be a good guy. Now he's an evil guy. It's a lot easier to do that. It may be more appealing to do that as well, but in terms of, like, if I'm a 7-year-old, I could write how a bad guy turns good harder than how a good guy would stay good despite bad things happening to them, So like it's crazy. And maybe that's not the best example, but I just personally believe that people that don't think Goku or really any flat characters can be complex or is complex, I think that's a ridiculous argument.
he remains the same while changing everyone else around him. The conflicts in this arc were very lighthearted and never really felt like they were in life-threatening danger, and that's the trend that remains for most of this series. A solid start to this legendary story, leaving a lot of room to get better from there. I feel the same about the 21st Tenkaichi. Solid fights all throughout, but the real highlight is
one of my favorite
versus
OSTs,
Goku.
bro.
There are a number of twists and turns in this fight, including a Great Ape transformation from Goku, but this fight highlights the importance of wisdom and technique. Another arc that'll go in good. The Red Ribbon Army arc.
Pilaf. I could see you leaving this in good rather than bumping it up to great, but I think it's definitely better than Pilaf. So either Pilaf goes to okay or 21st goes to great. But so far, this is fine.
It's okay. The way Goku took on an entire army like that was cool, but
fine.
Excluding the fight with Mercenary Tao and Goku visiting Korin's tower, I don't particularly enjoy this arc. This arc just lacked that oomph, Following this arc is another tournament where we are introduced to another martial arts school where the master is a person from Roshi's past. Shin's students, Tien and Chaozu, are definitely strong and worthy opponents, but they don't fight with the same morality that Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha do.
Yeah, people forget that Chaozu is a piece of shit at one point. Chaozu is a cheating bastard. Like, nowadays, Chaozu's like memeably annoying, and that's fine. But during this tournament, bro, I'm telling you, he's just, oh my god. Like, he's annoying, but in the cheating way.
Roshi against Tien gives the audience the first real look into Tien's strength, and Goku versus Krillin is my favorite fight from this tournament.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this is my favorite one. Really love this fight. Also, doesn't Yamcha break his leg in this arc? But I really love this fight, bro.
Because it not only exhibits how strong they've gotten as fighters, but how much stronger their bond as best friends has become as well.
And it also shows that Krillin really, like, doesn't detest Goku anymore. But, yo, he's like, I understand you're stronger than me. I understand I'm going to lose this fight. Not going like that.
And that bond is directly responsible for the next arc. So I'll place the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai at the top of good, but it transitions
I think I'd go great there.
Exceptionally well into the first great arc of Dragon Ball, and that's the Demon King Piccolo arc. The stakes finally turn up a bit, and that's not to say Dragon Ball needs to be ultra serious all the time, but I prefer stories where every character's actions have their consequences. I mean, how much longer would you want to see just tournament after tournament? They weren't bad by any means, but I also do not think they could have been much better than they already were. In this arc, we see just how reckless Goku will be when it comes to protecting his friends. We get more insight into the past of the Dragon Ball world with the stories of Master Buu, Taito, and Demon King Piccolo. But most of all, this is the first time we see a main cast member die. It shifts the tone in a big way. This arc also does a And
I love the way that Goku just like knew something was up, but was too naive to like act initially. It's like one of the hidden lessons about his character. Now, granted, he's a kid, so leave him alone. But he dead ass just sits there and Krillin's going away and he's like, oh, nothing, just be easy. And then he doesn't eat. It was so like, though that scene is one of those scenes where I'm mad as a kid I didn't get it. But I was like, What is going on? And then Goku just bolts out of there, bro. I'm like, ooh, that scene low-key, that scene stock rose for me over time. I know I'm just chatting, but it rose over time for me personally.
Groundwork for the next arc as well. I mean, it's a seamless transition into the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, which is centered around Piccolo's son. I know I just stated tournament arcs were losing some of their intrigue, but this one is different. We are aware that Piccolo Jr. is a contestant and more than likely will fight Goku in the championship match. But this is the arc where we see Goku evolve physically, emotionally, and as a fighter in a big way. Goku and Piccolo's fight is great, that goes without saying. And Goku's rapid development flows directly into the next arc where he figures out that he isn't human. So I'll put the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai in the great tier as well. Dragon Ball.
I think the tournaments just got 21st is giving 22nd a run for his money, actually. Now I think about it. I know I said 22nd was originally greater, but now I think about it, I think this one definitely is a tier above these two, though. I will say that. You take a better climactic main fight than the 22nd, better interim fights than the 21st, you get the 23rd. I think the 23rd is definitely number one. These two are actually kind of debatable because I would argue Roshi Goku is way better than Tien Goku, but at the same time, and not to say Tien Goku's bad, but at the same time, I do like the interim fights in the 22nd a lot more. I just think they're more memorable even.
The Saiyan arc is one of my favorites for so many reasons. I mean, if we just go through the moments, Gohan breaking Raditz ship, Piccolo and Gohan building their bond, Krillin avenging Yamcha, Goku returning to Earth and taking out Nappa, the Kaioken Kamehameha, Great Ape Vegeta, Great Ape Gohan. There's so many moments to love. But the one that shines the brightest is probably the most important character introduction in Dragon Ball Z. Raditz gave so much context to everything. Every weird, inexplicable.
Yeah, I've talked about Raditz a lot on this channel. I'm not a Raditz stan, but damn it, I will be one. That guy's good. I'm not even going to say the same point I've said in multiple videos, but again, that guy's good.
Otherworldly feat Goku had in Dragon Ball now made sense. The tail that Goku used to have now made sense. The introduction of Raditz also made way for Nappa and Vegeta, the latter being Goku's current rival and one of the strongest fighters in the universe. This arc is also the starting point for Gohan's personal character arc, which I think is the best in Dragon Ball Z and the most important as well. This is the first Z tier placement on this list, and it's a pretty easy decision. And speaking of easy decisions, I'll just go ahead and do this. It's the best writing in the entire.
I hit the wrong button too, but hey, that was a perfect time to hit the button. No debates.
Best villain in the entire franchise, the best twist in the entire franchise, and arguably the highest stakes in the series. And to top it all off, this arc introduced Super Saiyans. Easy Z tier. The mysterious introduction of Trunks, introducing time travel, and most importantly, his warning about the androids made me anticipate the next arc more than any other in the franchise. But it's only 7 episodes. And I don't feel right putting it in the same tier as stories that were also great and stretched out over a longer period of time. I would put this in Z tier, but I can't get over the fact that it was so short, so I'll put it in good. The top of good.
Oh, that's Mickey. Oh, I wouldn't have did that. I'd have looked at an Android arc. What? Ah, that's Mick. You hold him, my boy. And there you go for my niggas that think I hate Trunks. I don't. I just think y'all. But yeah, nah, they hold Trunks right there. He should have been right with the Android arc.
If I could use one word to describe the Android arc, it would be mystery. As an audience, we didn't know what the androids looked like, and they didn't have power levels.
You know what else is a mystery? Why haven't you hit the like button yet? Or subscribe to the page. Or become a member, man. You're getting the content that like you don't get on the main channel. We about to start playing games over there, bro. We got the abridged anime talks, and we got cartoon shit over there. I just ranked the best main characters in cartoon history, and I talked about Avatar's unaired pilot.
Only thing in my mind was that all of the Z fighters were supposed to die. But once he got sick on the battlefield, you could almost feel the sense of despair from the Z fighters that were watching. But Vegeta's newfound strength and Piccolo revealing how strong he had become, it seemed like the Z fighters had won. But that triumphant feeling was soon disrupted when Trunks informed them that the androids they had been fighting were not any that he'd seen before.
Yeah, nah, that was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, this is an underrated plot twist. We're kind of numb to it now. When them was beating the shit out the androids, I'm like, okay, something else has to happen, right? Because there's no way this is the arc. Maybe Trunks is low-key evil all along, which again ties into the mystery thing. But some shit got to be going on. When this pulled up,
yo, who's that? Is that Chaozu? Yo, what the? Who is this old man? What are y'all doing?
This is where the despair kicked back in, because when androids 16, 17, and 18 were activated, there was nothing any Z fighter could do. You know, I was gonna put this arc in good, but I think this deserved to go in the great tier. But the Cell arc, that's going towards the top of good. I think this arc handles Saiyan transformations the best.
I gotta hear this out.
I think this arc handles Saiyan transformations the best. I'm a fan of the different grades of Super Saiyan and the different benefits and drawbacks of each form. And then of course, there's Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But what keeps this arc from being in the great tier and maybe even possibly Z tier is the ending. The ending of a story can either greatly enhance or diminish an arc's quality for me, and you'll see that later on this list. The Great Saiyan Man arc. A much appreciated...
Don't explain how you don't like the ending? You can convince me that you believe that Goku should have ended the arc. I'm not gonna lie. I might even somewhat argue that that's technically the proper way that the arc should have ended. With Gohan failing, falling for the same trap that Vegeta fell for, falling for the same trap that Trunks fell for, falling for the same trap that Goku would even fall for, in terms of when you finally think you have things under control, you just don't know ball for real. And it would be the final lesson for Gohan at the cost of someone who he cares about. That would have been low-key kind of fire. I can even hear that Goku's sacrifice with Cell should have been the thing. Cell shouldn't have been able to regenerate himself blowing up. Fine. Because at that point, why doesn't he just touch back down and do it again, right? So fine. Seriously, why didn't he just touch back down and do it again? He would have... So's weird. Yeah, but he is part-time saying blah, 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 so it's written. I know why he did that before y'all start. But the idea that you don't like the father-son Kamehameha, the Vegeta saying, I'm sorry, for like the first time in however, every Z fighter, including Vegeta, again struggling to fend off any of Cell's attack. And then again, bro, I'm not going to downplay it. The father-son Kamehameha, as well as the speech Goku gives to go...
Eat that horse!
Jokes aside, but seriously, just not explaining why you don't like that, my boy. You're crazy. The only thing I will say is if you had to hate take the Cell arc, you would have to convince me that the flaws of Vegeta, Trunks, and Krillin not handling Cell make it bad. Otherwise, Cell's introduction. You talked about mystery. Cell's still mysterious. Cell's introduction to the series with Piccolo just coming from the shadows, drinking people. What? Did you just hear what I said? From the shadows, drinking people? Why is West City evaporated? What the f going on? I thought we killed the 2 other fodder androids. There's some more. I also loved the final flash. Goku versus Cell is the best fight in the series, debatably. The instant warp Kamehameha was hard. It's objectively better than Demon King. I'm sorry, bro. You're telling me it's like worse than Future Trunks?
It's going towards the top of good.
Yeah, Future Trunks being better than that is crazy too, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Hard disagree there, but let's move on.
The Great Saiyan Man arc. Living a normal, peaceful life was cool. His interactions with Videl were also unlike anything we had seen in Dragon Ball Z up to that point. I'll put this in good.
Yeah, I put it in okay. I ain't gonna, it was okay. I don't know about good. Great Saiyan arc being a change of pace, that's just straight up correct. This is why I say if Gohan was the main character, you basically want Tom Holland to be the main character because it's very similar to Spider-Man even in this arc. Great Saiyan. I don't know how I need to explain that for people.
Now, I don't know if most people consider this an arc, but I do. And I call it the World Tournament arc. Bad name, I know. If you have a better name, put it in the comments.
Yeah,
this arc starts when Goku comes back to Earth and ends when Vegeta dies against Buu. Easy Z tier. There are multiple great fights.
So you call it a separate arc after... Okay, I see why you do. I see the vision. I'm not going to dunk on them for being different, y'all, because it does feel like a little bit of a different story once Buu comes back.
One of my biggest gripes with Dragon Ball post-Frieza arc is that the number of characters who had an impact on the story diminished greatly. This arc does not have that problem. Now, the Buu arc, that's going right in the mech category. After Vegeta's death, there was such a clear change of direction for the story, and the quality dropped as well. The only thing that keeps the Buu arc from being just straight up bad is the Spirit Bomb, which I've stated on multiple occasions is one of the best ways to end a Dragon Ball arc.
I like the reasoning for the Spirit Bomb. I will give you that. In terms of the Buu arc being meh, again, my issue is compared to things like the Red Ribbon Army arc, I think it's way more interesting than that. Off of cool points alone, Vegeta, Goku's fight against Kid Buu, Gohan's I'm gonna kill you, Gotenks' choreography, I think it's definitely more interesting than Red Ribbon. I'm petitioning for Red Ribbon to go to meh. We're talking okay now. Bro, I'm sorry. The Buu arc is not worse than the Emperor Pilaf arc. No shot in hell. I could see okay, but I'm a person that believes these two are in okay, so if this is the king of okay, I'm not pissed at it.
I think Battle of Gods is far and away the best Dragon Ball movie. The arc isn't nearly as good.
Back in the day, and I need to re-rank movies again, like the OGs of TSO were mad that I said this is easily a top 3 movie. Talking about Fusion Reborn and BoJack and all these other movies that, let's just say. But that's besides the point. Android 13 even. Oh, I'm gonna save my takes for that day. What I'm definitely confused is how many people don't realize how good Battle of Gods is. Please rewatch Battle of Gods. It has comedic impact, new characters that are actually interesting for a change, one of the coolest transformations in the series, one of the best choreographies in the series, one of the most quotable shit in the I will not let you destroy my world. It's I don't know how people don't love that movie, but yes, this arc fucking sucks. If this isn't in trash, we're chatting.
It's a rehashing of the movie with subtle changes and worse pacing. This is the first okay placement in a while.
I never thought I would stand the Boo arc today, but my boy, no. There's nothing in this arc that's more exciting than this arc, except maybe the genuine transformation.
Placement in a while.
No
the
way in
Resurrection
hell.
F movie is okay at best, and just like Battle of Gods, the
This is
anime counterpart
awful.
is significantly worse. I'm putting this arc in meh.
Yo, the Golden Frieza arc is not as good as the Am I overrating the Boo arc, y'all? Like, I agree with you, bro. The Boo arc out of all of Z, clearly the worst. And then OG Dragon Ball on the lower end. I'm fine with that take. What I'm not fine with is if we're gonna start saying that the two worst arcs in Super are on par, if not better than it. All right. These two arcs are holy shit bad. I'm not gonna lie. This arc definitely better than the Frieza one for sure. This would be men, the Frieza would be bad.
The concept of a multiversal tournament was new and exciting, but when Boo was removed because of a written exam, that should have been a sign of things to come. And then the whole Manga thing, the fights building up to the championship were not interesting in the slightest.
When you have your already established characters fight literal strange and new characters, those strange and new characters need to challenge the idea or challenge the other character to such a degree, even physically, to such a degree to where we can now pour our emotion into it. This arc doesn't do that. It's gimmick character, Kaba, who is cool, Frieza knockoff, which nobody appreciated, and then Hit, who is the physically challenging character.
I knew Hit was going to be the final antagonist of this arc, and it was a drag waiting to finally see him fight. Goku vs. Hit is one of the better fights in Dragon Ball Super, but it doesn't stop me from placing this arc in the meh tier as well.
Yeah, I'm not mad at even though this is definitely worse than Universe 6.
My thoughts on the last two arcs of the Dragon Ball Super anime are the same, just reversed. The Goku Black arc was pretty good up until Vegito, and with a good ending, I probably would have placed it in the great tier. And the Universal Survival arc is just some.
If Zamasu wasn't an idiot, I think he'd be the best antagonist in the show. And if you don't just make shit up for Trunks, that's probably a Z. It could have easily been a Z. You just had to not ass pull Trunks and make Zamasu smarter. I'd probably say it's high, okay, maybe good, because there's some cool shit in there.
A more grand version of the tournament against Universe 6.
Tournament of Power, high highs, low lows. I think I would say the highs were really amazing, to be fair. I would honestly low-key go great. I think Tournament of Power is a little bit overrated.
At a certain point, there were far too many characters to genuinely keep up with, so I lost some of my excitement for the arc as a whole. But everything after Goku using Ultra Instinct for the first time was pretty good. One arc was pretty boring with a great ending, and the other arc was great up until a terrible ending. I'd put both in good.
I can see that. I'm not mad at both of these in good. At the end of the day, one, obviously, shout out to the boy Tone. You know what? I'll subscribe for you, my boy. But you ain't getting that like for this. Sorry. I'm hating. It's... Honestly, Cell and Boo got hold. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think is the best arc. If this video hits 400 likes, I'll go ahead and rank every Dragon Ball arc myself. But it's been with TSO Sage. Take care, stay blessed. I'm going to see you niggas next time, man.